Hello, welcome to my Sasquatch journal. If you're sensitive to profanity or something, man, just turn this thing off. Just turn it off, man. Do it now. You know, I'm not gonna fucking censor myself or anybody. You know, I'd like to quote Mark Twain, as a matter of fact, before I open up here and say, if you're not offended at least 3 times a day, you're not living in a free society. So you know. You gotta have some tolerance. We just gotta deal with each other, and I just can't censor myself, man. I've just gotta be who I am, and that's who I am, you know. Anyway, here's the deal. If you're looking for a video of Bigfoot or something, you know, I don't have it. I don't have an ending for this documentary, probably, because that was gonna be my ending. You know, that was gonna be my ending, and I don't have it. You know. There is some interesting stuff going on, though, and I hope you enjoy it. First off, the dates and the times on the stamp at the bottom are wrong. They're all probably within about 24 hours, though. They're, you know, so I put them there so I could see the whole thing all at one time. Also, let me see. All the stuff in the movie is not all Bigfoot stuff. There's other stuff too, other kind of tracks, other kind of markings and stuff. You know, I tried to make it not boring. You know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you get something from this. I put this together basically so I could see the whole thing in chronological order, date by date. And I've got my journal here, and I'm just going to probably go through the whole thing. And I hope this doesn't end up too long. So anyway, thank you. Thanks for watching, squatching, whatever. On the 4th of July in 2013, me and my friend were walking in the woods and found a family unit of trackway of like 3 or 4 different sized animals, 16-inch, 18-inch, and 13-inch. I drew this when I got home. This is the 16-inch. The biggest one was 2 inches longer than this, and when I drew that, he was with me, and we drew that night and made sure I drew this the next day of the 3 sizes, because it's at least 3 sizes that we saw. I think it may be 4, because some of the smaller tracks looked like about 12, and then some of them looked smaller. And these I drew the next day while it was still fresh in my mind. So I filmed this bent over tree, and then I did my first whoop because I had a couple of friends with me, and I felt a little brave, and this happened. Something went boom behind us on the ground within, like, I would say like 7 or 10 seconds after I did my first whoop ever in the woods. I never do that shit by myself. Okay, we've been walking for an hour, and I just hooped out of nowhere, right? I hadn't hooped the whole hour that we've been out here, right? And then I just hooped out of nowhere, and what happened?
Fucking something fucking fell off one of them fucking trees, dude.
That's what it sounded like. Like something hit the ground over here. Either something fell out of a tree or something was thrown or something. You could hear one of them say, there ain't nothing broken. And we looked up in the trees, and there wasn't anything broken right there where that fell. I mean, if the camera would have been on when it happened, I actually would have pointed up around in there. And then I ran off through the woods with the camera by the creek where I thought it could have came from if something was thrown. And here's a recap of what's happened. I walked all the way down, didn't see anything but rabbit and deer tracks. I saw one skunk on the way home. And then on the way back, I was checking off the trails and I found a nice print, but you can't really see a lot of detail in the toes or anything like those other ones we found that were so perfect in the mud. Mika wouldn't cross the creek down there, so after slipping off myself off the rocks into the water and getting my feet wet, I was gonna just go into the caves and go the whole trip down there and see what I could find in the mud, but Mika wouldn't cross the creek, so next time she'll probably have to stay here, but I really need a hiking buddy. Yeah, I found that print. I made a casting. I'm gonna go back and get it later. I'm gonna go home and eat and take some more pain medicine, man. This arthritis is fucking killing me. It's really hard to walk, especially on these rocks. I should be getting to the fence line here soon, and I'll report again later today after I pick up my cast, and hopefully it'll be nice. I'm gonna let it dry for a few hours or half the day. Go back before the magic hour. I don't want to be here around dark or before. I'm gonna try to go pretty early, but maybe the sun will dry it out pretty good. This is Travis Neville's searching for fucking Bigfoot. I never thought I'd be doing it, but found the prints, found the tracks. 16 inch, 18 inch, and one around 12. Or actually, there was a few around 12 on top of each other. It looked like a restless kid, you know. Oh, mommy, I want to kill a deer, mommy. That's what it looked like, a kid. A lot of movement. Couldn't be still. Tracks on top of each other. But the ones we saw had really nice toes. I mean, you could see details in the toes and everything, and it just looked like big flat-footed humans. If it would have been one, I would have kind of rationalized it and said that it was a bear, and he like put his foot down and kind of wiped it or something, and it just took that shape magically, you know. But it wasn't one, it was a bunch. So, or you know, and some nice ones, you know, like 5 nice ones, and then some of the smaller ones were on top of each other, so they weren't so nice. But the 18 was pretty nice with a lot of detail. The 16 inch was perfect. It was perfect. The first one I drew, I wish I could have got a mold of that one. Okay, later. I do want to mention that on the 4th of July trackway, there were bears there before the Bigfoots, and we could compare tracks and see that which is which, you know, so there's no way we could have confused them. And it was a family unit, and they were pooping berries, and so were the bears, and you could distinguish that as well. That one shot where I was back there in the creek bed where all the rocks and all the water was standing, and I did a rotating shot. I turned the camera on and pointed in that one direction to begin with because I heard a noise, and I didn't want to imitate the noise back there. I'm going to wait till I'm out of the fucking woods to imitate the noise. I'm almost back, so I'm going to imitate the noise. It was like, oh, oh, or something like that, except it was higher pitched. It was a higher note, maybe half an octave higher. I didn't want to do that in the woods there, man, not by myself. Okay, I got the high pitch thing down now. I'm at the house. Oh! Something similar to that. Oh! That's about the range. That's about the note. Man, this thing looks shitty. Yeah. Oh well, let's see what the other side looks like. And then there's like a drop off right here down to the creek. Mika, what's up? Okay, I was starting to clean my Momo footprint. The front piece here I cleaned, and the back piece here I cleaned a little bit, and I was going to clean this one, and I looked here and there's some little hairs. There's a hair here, and there's one right above it. There's 2 hairs. Now that's weird that they're in there, but I don't know, because it seems like they would have been under the dirt, you know, and I'm going to take them anyway. and put them in a jar. But I don't know what that is. It's pretty weird, thin looking hair. I had collected my prize. It was the 16-inch, the one we call Mother. So now for the rest of my life, I won't be able to deny it because I have proof in my hands. Big fucking hog, I don't want to see him. Good thing he's going that way. I'm turning around. Coyote looks like. The bottom two limbs of this tree has been broken off and is leaning in the trail right here. This is the kind of stuff I was finding too. Look how big that is. It's like something grabbed it and hung on it and pulled it down. That weighed 1,000 pounds and knocked it in the trail. This wasn't here last time I came out of here. I guess it was like that when I came through. I don't know, that's a fresh break. Pretty strange. This one's broken too. That one looks a little older. So I got a bag of marked down bananas at the store. And I left some bananas in the middle of some mud puddles and hanging from some trees above some mud. That way, whatever wants those bananas are gonna have to step in some mud. So maybe we'll get some kind of footprints, whether it's bear or whatever, even though I'm not gonna waste the plaster on bear footprints. I need the plaster. I'm out, as a matter of fact. I'll have to get some more. I went through a box on 2 footprints and they're not even thick. I probably use a whole box of plaster of Paris just for one big footprint. Anyway, that's it for now. Tomorrow I'll go back and, or the next day I'll go back and try to get those casts. Now it's time to go home and drink a beer and relax. This is Travis, over and out. Alright, good morning. Travis and Mika here. We're going back to get the casting that I made. Today is August 1st. If you're wanting to see a quick 10-second video footage of Bigfoot, go online and find you a fake somewhere. This is like Bigfoot research.
It's boring, tedious shit, man. So if you're looking for an action shot, I'm sure you can go find a shot of Bigfoot somewhere. If you want to see some fat ass hillbilly hike through the woods and pick up footprints and report on actual stuff and get hair samples and stuff, well, then you may be interested in this. This is more or less for myself and for my friends. Anyway, it's almost 7 in the morning and I've got my hot coffee. If I get attacked by anything, it's getting my coffee in the face, so. Fucking shit. Goddamn. Oh, fucking shit. Bobcat. Leave it, Mika. You leave him. No, Mika, no. Leave him. God damn, that's a big bobcat. No, no. Leave him. He'd kick your ass. Leave him, Mika. Fucking big bobcat. God damn, he look like a fucking mountain lion. Leave him, Mika. Holy shit. God damn. Welcome to Jackass. I'm Travis Nellis. Mika, leave him alone. Leave that fucking bobcat alone. He'll whoop your ass. Damn, that's the biggest bobcat I've ever seen. Fuck, that joker was huge, man. I'm glad I decided to leave the camera on. See, by the time I would have got the camera out of my bag, let it power on, and got a shot, even after I heard the first yelp while he was walking up to me, I might have got a shot of that bobcat. But probably just a flash of him running away. Blurry, you know? That's just how it is. By the time you get your camera out, any animal sighting, I mean a rabbit, you know, walking in the woods, you see a rabbit or a squirrel. Yeah, do that experiment. Go out in the woods, put your camera in your bag, and as soon as you see a squirrel, you grab your camera, turn it on, and shoot a shot of him as quick as you can. And then complain about somebody's video that gets a Bigfoot footage that's out here in the middle of the fucking woods with him. Then you got room to talk. Sitting behind a desk, it's easy to say, there's no such thing, because these things don't live in Chicago City. These things don't live in Los Angeles. These things don't live at the university. Reusable, right on. Ah, fucking hell. That's why I need more plaster right there. Need to make them thicker. Thick, thick, thick. I need a big old case of plaster. Damn. All the excitement of the bobcat, or mountain lion, whatever the hell it was, 13 long and 6.5 wide. This is the baby, Littlefoot, Junior Momo, from the Mansfield Momo family. Nice Osterman's pad in the rear there, and very wide. See, it comes from here all the way to here, and the length is exactly twice the width. All right, man, I found Bigfoot, Fort Smith, Gigantopithecus. Check out this big damn dirty ape. Is that a big fucking ape or what? If he stood up, he would probably be about 10 foot tall. Claw marks, Let me get close up. Eight long without the claws, and 5.5 wide. And then this is another foot here of the bear. This is a nice print here. It's beautiful. If I had enough, just so you know how hard it is to film in these woods. That bobcat was in some woods like this, and he was only like, you know, a stone's throw away, and the camera was pointing already on. It was already in his direction, and you still can't see him on there. That's how these woods are. You can see something with your eye that you're not going to pick up with the camera, even with all the technology and stuff to zoom in on it.
Somebody was stuck in that mud.
Yeah, and something got the bananas, see? I put some bananas out here.
Yeah, I figured something would get them, because it smelled good.
I don't see any tracks, just that. That's a rear black bear footprint. Normal size right there. I know what a bear footprint looks like. is where I got the original. This is where I placed the banana. Okay. Banana's right there. That's where the handprint was. I looked for tracks over here where something could have grabbed it from the side without leaving a footprint, and I didn't see it. Okay. And this wasn't here last time either. I don't know. I would have seen that one. Could be my track from last time I was here, but I don't remember standing up there like that. I could see where the leaf is pressed down right here too. Go, Mika, leave it. Get away. The leaf was pressed down, so whatever it was, come all the way over here. It's bigger than mine. Again, the leaf right here is pressed down, if you could see it. So I can get some good close-up of that. The leaf is pressed down. Better get some measurements. Exactly 13. Six and a half wide there, smaller there, 13 long. I don't know. See that leaf pushed down right there in the middle? That makes it 13 inches, maybe a little more. 13 and a half. And I could see it coming up through here. So that's gonna make it 6 and a half wide up in here. Right there. 6 and a half wide. I'm gonna look for some hair samples. Some light. Okay, the first spot where 3 bananas were eaten mostly by a coyote. Got the coyote prints right here.
Now I had Mama and Junior. Duty overrides the fear. August 19th. 2013. Okay, we went back to the spot where I left the bananas, and what appeared to be like a handprint or something. There was no tracks leading up to it to where it could have been a coyote. That's why I just started calling it a handprint. 6 feet from where that was is where we found the track that's 13 by 6.5. It has really deep heel impressions. Really deep heel on that one, which was a very, very heavy animal. If I would have stood up there and just jumped up on the ground, I couldn't have made it that deep. Left a few more bananas in there. I found a peeling where something had eaten one of them. And whenever I've got the footprint, I found a fiber inside it, and I made sure and take it. And, yeah, there wasn't any really good toe imprints, but I did see where the leaf was pressed down, and got the video. Okay, August 20th, 2013. Set the cast for the 13 by 6.5 that I found the day before on the slope. Bananas are still there. I left 3 before, and 3 past it in the mud in another spot. Big hog tracks. No one has been there. August 22nd, 2013, I went with a friend of mine, and I got my cast. I had some backup with me. This guy knows a lot about tracking and stuff, and survival and that type of stuff. First 3 bananas were eaten by what appeared to be a coyote. Single banana by the tracks was taken, no foot or handprints. It was found about 30 yards down the trail with some bite marks in it. It looked like fang marks, so I ended up not keeping it, but I did for a little while in the fridge. And we found a 16-inch footprint next to that one. It wasn't castable. You know, most of the ones you find aren't. I've probably seen 50, and maybe you know, a few of them were castable. I wish I would have found had the equipment to cast the first ones I found. Let me see. We found jag marks where that structure that I showed earlier, where the stuff leaned to that one tree, was dragged over there and placed up there. I used the B flute and called out, and I got a coyote pack call back, but whenever it first started, it goes, oh, there was like one like that before the coyote started in, and you might be able to hear some of that if I play the audio.
Like that. Before the trail here?
Looks like a... Does it look like an arrow pointing up the trail to you?
Yeah, it could be weed growers.
This is true.
The banana is gone, and I don't see any tracks anywhere. And here's my track. Here's my Momo track I'm getting. Look. Here's the hill striking toes right here, and there's the banana where something, yeah, it looks like teeth marks on it.
You know, something's bit
fucking teeth marks, man.
Chunk out of it.
Get a big chunk out of it.
The rest of the peel.
And it is close to, it's this far from where the banana was sitting. That's the solo single banana. I just got the 13 from there. Here's the other one. I'm going to measure this. I'm going to take measurements. Okay, this footprint's measured. It is 16 by 7.5, same as the 16-inch footprint I casted at first. So my guess is the mama is the one that ate this banana, and I'm tempted to get that and put it in a bag because it may have some DNA on it. This one's 9 inches long, 3.5, or actually 3 to the break, and 4 at the end. 3.5 wide there, and 3 wide there. This is the tamarin that I left. And there's a stick leaning against this tree here. That wasn't here last time. That second one didn't sound like a coyote. Hold that. Fucking going.
No. Look the fuck out. Safety off, motherfuckers.
Fuck, dude. Some of that didn't sound like coyotes, but I'm sure it was. I was playing the good, the bad, and the ugly theme on the flute. Yeah. And the coyotes want to fight now.
So I collected my second 13 by 6.5. This one was very, very deep hills. After spending so much time in the woods, everything starts to look like a Sasquatch or a tree bend or a footprint or sound like a Sasquatch. I was a non-believer. I used to say, actually, I don't believe in any animal that doesn't die or take a shit. And you know, I had no idea that people were finding all this stuff out there. I had no idea there was 50,000 sightings reported in North America, and I had no idea there was 2,300 locations named after these creatures. I had no idea there was over 100 Indian names for Sasquatch, you know. And once you know all the information and the numbers, to believe that this creature couldn't exist would be to believe that there's some conspiracy of a secret society of Native Americans that's been carrying out hoaxes for, you know, hundreds of years and putting down footprints and dressing up in costumes and scaring the people for hundreds of years, you know. And, you know, I had no idea of all this stuff, you know. But once you do have an experience, you know, you're no longer a believer, you're a knower. You know, there's people that believe in Bigfoot, there's people that don't believe in Bigfoot. And then there's the knowers. And that's us. And this is for us. This film is for us.
There's no hiking to get up. Except for the hat. The hat's got the camera on it. That taped to the top. So I can walk like this.
Okay, September 3rd, 2013. It was getting kind of dark. I walked to the stone circles. I heard what sounded like a wolf. It didn't sound like coyotes. And then I heard like my neighbor, somebody start a four-wheeler over here down the road. And then I heard a weird howl that was like just, ooh, you know, like a man kind of howl that was like unlike anything I could do or any singers I know. And it sounded like it was saying shut the fuck up to the guy who was starting the four-wheeler or lawnmower or whatever it was that he was starting. Let me see, September 8th or 9th, I don't remember which one it was. I walked the trail, there were some horse tracks there, there were some four-wheeler tracks, no Momo tracks. I walked to the bear spot, that's it. No other animal tracks. Monday, September 23rd, 2013, I walked with my dad, it was his birthday. We left Mika at home, it looks like she might have been sick. We found deer and coyote tracks, we found some big rocks stacked on top of others. December 16, 2013, I heard a perfect tree knock when I was at the pond coming from straight back this direction, and it sounded like it was at the back of this property. So I didn't go back there. I was on the way back there, and I heard that tree knock, and I turned the fuck around. Okay, February 22nd, 2014, went to the first creek crossing. No tracks. There was a horrible smell that seemed to follow Mika and I along Rock Creek. It smelled like cat shit mixed with the monkey exhibit at the Houston Zoo. I remember as a kid. Okay, first day after equinox, March 21st, 2014. Found 13 by 6.5. Not so good. Not good enough to cast. Turkey and coyote tracks. No humans or four-wheelers. Mika and I went sticking to the trails. Heard what possibly was a bear cub down by the water. I remember that. It just sounded like, you know how bears make noise and stuff. It sounded like a cub, so we got out of there. March 30th, 2014, we did an AM walk with Mika and Dad. We went halfway. We went to the halfway point there. Found deer tracks, bear, coyote, turkey, 2 9.5 and a 13.5 inch in the water next to the rock crossing. I filmed the information about what I believe was my encounter. April 1st, I went and casted the 2 9-inch tracks that I found yesterday. Heard a perfect whoop on the way home. Only a few tracks were there, a couple of deer tracks. But that's when I heard the whoop, turned the camera on, and all that. April 15th. Dad and Mika and I went to the THIE by the first crossing. We saw big Bobcat tracks, coyote tracks, and turkey tracks. I'm going to tell my story, since I haven't yet, of what I believe to be a Bigfoot encounter. First, I'll tell the story of what happened here behind me. One day I walked up here, and something up on the hill goes, "Ooh!" like that, and it was real loud. I don't even like doing that here, man. It makes me nervous, but I got my gun today, so I'm not too scared. Anyway, my Bigfoot encounter. This is the famous Rock Creek. The most sightings in Oklahoma and the most sightings in Arkansas are in Logan County and LaFleur County. This is right in the middle of both of them. This is the famous Rock Creek. It runs back and forth, you know, from Logan County to LaFleur County. You could look those up there on Beef Road. It's really good stuff. I mean, they're really fascinating. Anyway, I was following the trail that goes along Rock Creek to the caves. I think it's called Slate Falls, where the caves are. There's a waterfall that comes over the top of it. Beautiful place, nice place to check out. And it was the really hot summer. I think it was 2008, 2007, 2006, somewhere around there. And I didn't realize what I saw at the time. I just said bear, it's a bear, it's a bear, and kind of blew it off. Anyway, the only watering hole that was there, since it was during a drought, is like right before you get to the caves, there's a watering hole on the left. And I knew it was coming, and I was kind of keeping my eyes open, but it came up kind of quick. I walked around the corner, and then something that was at the watering hole, big and black, went up the side of a mountain, or the side of the hill like this, and there was a lot of brush. I just caught a glimpse of it as it left the watering hole for about 10 or 15 feet, and then disappeared into the brush. So I didn't really get a good look at it. But on that trip, there wasn't any footprints. There wasn't any. I mean, it was like 100 degrees, man. I mean, only idiots like me would be out there in it anyway. I noticed there was no tracks going there. And then after I saw that, okay, I was like, oh, cool, I saw a bear. I saw a bear. And then I got almost to the caves, and to the right, there were some rocks stacked. And the way they were stacked was like, it was really high, like this. And there were small rocks and big rocks. And I was like, man, the wind hadn't blown that over. And I was like, well, I guess somebody has been here. I guess somebody has been here. And then I was watching, some of those Bigfoot shows and stuff, and I realized that people have been reporting rocks stacked. And whenever I saw that show, it was like the scene in The Shining when she looks in the mirror and sees murder, and everything just kind of went, and it just all made sense. And then I started remembering back and stuff. I did a lot of self-hypnosis and tried to go back to that time and just try to think about it. And one thing I remember was whenever I walked around the corner, whatever that thing was, before it ran up the side of the mountain, it gasped. It was like, and then went up the side of the mountain, And I don't know if bears do that or not. I know they make all kind of weird noise, but this thing seemed bigger than a bear and longer than a bear. And it looked like it was running up the side of the mountain on all fours. But I believe that could have been a Sasquatch. I'm not sure. But I believe that it could have been, Anyway, that's my Sasquatch encounter, or what I believe to be one. And then later, a few years later, like last year, which is 2013, on July 4th, that's when me and my Marine buddy were walking, and he found the first 16-inch track, perfect toes, and then we found a bunch that were like 12 or 13 inches, and then I found one big one that was 18 inches long and about 9 inches wide, and it was perfect. Man, I wish, it was right before dark. I wish I would have went back with some casting material and got castings of that. I ended up getting a couple of 13 by 6.5 casts, and I got one 16-inch cast. Most of them are pretty crappy. One of them was actually in the leaves, but I just, I wanted to get it anyway, just to get some practice in, because I haven't practiced on it anyway. Okay, well, thanks for watching. You could like and subscribe and comment and all that stuff if you want to. Take it easy. Okay, and this is the spot that Brandon and Shane would bring me. I took them up there. I didn't tell them what we were coming out here for. I just said I need a couple of people to hike with me and watch my back. I didn't tell them why I was coming up here. And then when we got about halfway and started coming up here, I started telling them why we came up here. And then Brandon told me a story of when he was young, and just out of nowhere, that he saw a hairy creature around here somewhere. I don't know exactly where, down by the creek, and they walked up on it, and it was in the water, and it got out of the water and took off. But anyway, we were right here in this area, heading this direction towards the camera, and man, something hit the ground behind us, and it sounded like a rock about this size here. Hit the ground real hard, and the creek is right over here. The creek is over here about
50 yards. And whenever that happened, we went over here to the trees and looked up where we heard it. There was no trees broken or anything. There was no limbs on the ground. It sounded like a big ass fucking rock hitting the ground. And anyway, this is where that happened. And I just thought I would throw that in too, because that's another experience I had while I was at. This is a little track here. Look at that thing. Man, this is not far from where I found the 9-inch little footprint. This is small. Man, I can't believe how small this is. I'm gonna get a tape measure. I just said that this is where I found a 9-inch, or close to where I found a 9-inch track, and here we go, 9 inches long. Let me see. I don't know, this could be bear or anything. I didn't bring any casting material anyway with me. 4 inches wide, 9 inches long, but it's still got this other thing at the back. See the heel, and the other one over here. Where is it? It's curved. It's not straight like a shoe. See, it's curved. See the curve in there? Curvature. See the curve? It's curved. This one's crappy, but this one's kind of good. I'm gonna measure them.
By now I had the 16-inch mom, 2 of the 13-inch ones, and two of the 9-inch ones. Now all I had left was Big Daddy.
Walking this trail. Didn't fall here. Okay, there's a crossing right here for people to cross by. So why would they step here to there? That's pretty wide right there.
May 15th, went to the THIE with a friend. That's when we found that structure. I had returned to Whoop a couple of weeks before that, and we found the structure there. And you can see the honeysuckle is in blooms. Nice 70s day. Berries aren't ripe yet, but there's a lot of plantain and other edibles around. Saw a pear. I don't know what the hell that says, but I found that toy, which is this one, this thing here, over there, not right past the structure, and the structure has been called the Love Shack because basically I was leaving stuff around the structure for a little while until I was listening to some Bigfoot show, and they were talking about whooping and mating calls, and that's when I just woke up and sit up in my bed, and I was like, wait a minute, did I return a mating call? And is this structure some kind of gesture? And then ever since then, my friend's been calling it the Love Shack and telling me that, you know, that Bigfoot built this shack for me so we can get busy or something, man. So, you know, it's the Love Shack. Okay, May 26th. I went after 5 p.m. with another friend. We found the original tracks together. This is the friend that was with me when he found the original 16-inch track, and I found some of the others around. And then he went with me. We saw two 4x4 recreation vehicles with one couple and a guy with his kids, two separate groups. Which, you know, so once in a while we see people up there. I think we found some ambush structures that were like off trail, about 30 yards off trail or so, and they were limbs dragged and placed up, you know, against other limbs, you know, like for ambush structures to hide behind. I mean, that's what it looked like. It looked like you know, some kind of blind to me. That's the day we found the handprint across the creek and went off the.
Also, I forgot to mention, a few days ago we found an off trail that was bigger than a bear's trail, and my friends seemed to think it had been freshly used, so we walked down it, and we found a slip track that was 16 inches long, but it looks like it might have slipped a little bit on the rock. We looked where it might have crossed the creek recently because it looked fresh, and I didn't see any water stirred up or anything, but when we got to the other side we saw some impressions in the ground and there was still water there where something wet had come through there pretty recently, which was a little too close for me. I don't like to get that close to them. I don't want to see one. And then where the trees kind of dug down a little bit like that on the ground to the right, there was a handprint, and it was pretty big, you know. It was a big handprint, and he found it and showed me, and I didn't think it would really have done justice if I would have tried to take a video footage of it, because I mean, it was hard to see what we were seeing right there on the spot, and I know any of you guys out there know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I didn't think it was castable either because of the straw and stuff. I mean, it's anybody who's casted in the straw knows exactly what I'm talking about. You want to get them, but then you're like, oh man, it just wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't do it justice. So we had to pass it up and stuff. But I know the spot, and I remember the spot, and that's where I'm going to be getting off trail and doing some stuff and doing some heavy research over there. And as soon as I have backup and people to go with me. Don't step in it, make us stay out of it. Go lay down. Good girl. Okay, and this is that one. May 11th, 2014.
I don't even know if this was a track, but I cast it because it was the exact same size as the 9-inch ones that I had already and the other one that I had seen before.
Okay, this is for all the professional trackers out there. Is this a dog or a coyote? Can you tell the difference?
So April 1st, I'm coming back, and I stop up on the ridge to take a piss, and I hear a whoop, W-H-O-O-P, and it seemed like it was thrown in my direction, like a question kind of whoop. So I turned the camera on, I pointed it, and I whooped back, which I don't like to do. That's only the second time I ever whooped. The first time didn't end well because we had a rock thrown behind us. It may be well for some Sasquatchers that want to actually see these motherfuckers. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see what leaves an 18-inch footprint, but I do want to get the casting of it if I can in the daytime. Anyway, I didn't hear anything for a couple minutes, so I got the hell out of there because I didn't want to see it. You know, I thought it was on the way. It's coming to get me. I better get out of here. So I left, and then...
Okay, I just showed up to the place exactly where I was whooped at a couple of weeks ago, and I found some new stuff, man. Here it is.
Dude. Come here.
This
Come here.
shit here, man. What'd you find? Stay, Mika, come here.
Okay, so there's a little trick here. I noticed the indention here.
Come here, Mika. Mika.
Right here.
Go.
There's a hill. There's the arch and the break, and there are one. Come here and fill this. Come here and fill this shit. Fill right here. Okay, fill across here.
Oh shit.
Fill right here. Now fill back right here to the hill.
Oh yeah, the indention's low right here. Oh man, dude, that's a like from here to here. That's a.
There's another one right here. Maybe right there.
Oh shit.
Right there, right by your left foot.
Oh, this shit here is new. See this shit? I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I'm gonna try to get some good close shots, but see this tree here is bent over, and this one that's broke up there on top of it. How the hell is that on top of that? And this here.
The direction, a lot of stuff been pushed down around.
How the hell is that on top of that?
There's definitely a lot of imprint back here from.
Okay.
From
I need
lateral walking.
I need to maybe get Mika out of here. Hold on. See, this tree that was standing up here is on top of this tree that was right here. This is all new. We haven't had any storms. I was out here a couple weeks ago and all this crap wasn't here. This big one too.
Stuff back here steps on.
I'm going to turn the camera off for a second and check this stuff out for a minute.
See, because there's a lot of stress on the back side of this tree.
Okay, I left a egg over here, and it hadn't rained or anything. The egg is gone, well, plastic Easter egg, and I put 3 candies inside it. Here's the 3 candies right here. The ants are eating them, but the egg is gone. And I'm leaving some blackberry cobbler that I had left over for a few days, and a ghost candle with a face on it. I'm leaving that over there in the spot, and I'm gonna cast this one here that has like deep looking toes. I don't even know if it's a real track, but since it's right here by all this crap that just showed up that looks kind of strange, like this one under that, you know, this limb is under that one. That limb over there is under that one and way off to the right where it fell. And this one here is broken off right there and sticking over here. under this one over here on this side is under this one. It's just all confusing. Anyway, this stuff wasn't here a few weeks ago, so I'm gonna cast its footprint just in case. Come on, Mika, get out of that poison ivy.
So now I had two 16 by 8 inch, two 13 by 6.5, and three 9 by 4 inch tracks. I had the whole Rock Creek family, except for the big 18 inch.
This is new. Right there where you gotta come around and cross this creek here thing. And it's also right next to the old structure. I see somebody probably set this here, but where the fuck did this come from? There's no roots around anywhere. It doesn't appear to have broken off of one of these trees and fell. That's a big ass log, man. I'll take a fucking tractor to move that. I'm just asking the questions, I'm not saying anything. I did see a man and a kid's tracks coming in here, and there was a lot of this type stuff with the X's and stuff on the ground. It's probably just a kid playing with a stick, that's what I'm thinking, but taking shots of it just in case, or for what, you know, for research. This is one of the kid footprints here. There's the pattern in case I see it again, checkered pattern, and here's the other pattern of another kid. Two kids and one adult, and the adult looks like he's wearing some hiking boots. Smells like a skunk. So I'm trying to keep Mika with me because she just got sprayed with a skunk a couple months ago. I don't want her to get sprayed again. I hope it's a skunk. Shit. I think I'd rather get sprayed by a skunk than see a Bigfoot. Some bear scratchings I found here. Size comparison. Alright, so far coming in up front, I've saw some small deer tracks. I saw those bear scratchings on the way back. I didn't see them on the way there, but they were probably there. Probably just missed them. I picked up my casting and it looks like shit and it fell into a few pieces. The only reason I even got it is because I wanted to try to get the toes, because it looked like the toes were clinging in to the side of the hill like real deep, and I wanted to get that. And I just heard a weird sound, so I turned the camera on, but it's gone, so I turn it off. I'll get some shots of my cast when I get back. This fucking thing broke, man. This is where the hill came in, and it got kind of thin in the center where it broke here, and you can see 1, 2, 3, And then these toes were kind of together over here, but it looks like 5 fucking toes. And that's what I was really trying to get. I was just trying to get these toes. I haven't measured it or anything yet. Here's the walking trail. And we have this.
This day we were taking a break at the Love Shack area, and 2 couples walked up on us. They were going to the caves, so we decided to go to the caves with them. As soon as we got a little bit past the Love Shack, we heard to the top of the mountain thrown at us, "Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo! 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 Hoo-hoo!" And then when we got almost to the caves, to the left, I heard like water running, and it sounded like a bunch of monkeys, man. It just sounded like a bunch of damn chimpanzees playing or something in the damn water, man. You know, crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what it sounded like.
It was like old. It looks like it may have been rained on. And then I was like, okay, well, where would the other ones be? Well, one, and then 3 yards apart. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They're a little old though, but you know, could be something. I ain't saying what it is, but it's interesting. Looks like a rear bear track, left foot.
The tree that you saw that was a sapling pulled down and stuck under the root of the other one and laying across the trail, we find stuff like that quite a bit. You know, they're just weird kind of stuff like that. You know, just seems to be. And behind that tree that was laying across the creek, there was some impressions in the ground, and again, there it is, 13 by 6.5. You know. Behind the pine that was pushed down. That day we saw big dog tracks, and we saw turkey, deer, and that's about it. June 15th, I went with a few of my friends. We had, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and probably a dog or 2. I noticed some new bins like that, you know. Let me see, there was deer, coyote tracks. Yeah, that day on the 15th, it rained on us quite a bit, and we went down to this one spot, and Mika saw something, and man, Mika just went apeshit. She didn't run after it, you know, which she usually does. Even if it's a bobcat or whatever, a deer, she usually takes off after it. But this, she just backed down and was like, "Row, row, row, motherfucker!" You know, I don't know what she saw, you know, but it's documented. When we had a bunch down on the 15th, we put the camera out. July 18th, a friend and I went back and swapped the game cam card. No animals. We saw deer tracks. You know, we keep going back and putting the game card down. We went and checked the cam again on the 22nd. Still the same kind of stuff, you know, deer, coyote. Yeah, my friend thought that he saw, when we were going up the hill at this one spot, he thought he saw off to the left this red thing in front of the rocks. And then he went back to look at it and it was gone. So I ended up putting the game camera up there. We put the game camera where we found the hand print impression pressed down to the ground. You know, we didn't have any luck with that. You know, I finally got some shots of a bear, and it was when my mom and brother and my brother's girlfriend were in town, and it was really awesome that I got a bear shot. Let me see, June 27th, July 22nd, June 30th, put some sweet feed down, put the camera up, a bunch of coons, that's about it. July 5th, 2014, which would be a year and a day since we found the original ones. I found about a 16-inch looking one with no visible toes and not castable. Bear, deer, coon, and dog tracks. July 7th, I walked with Mika, my mom, and that's when we found that stuff. Let's see, we saw there were water moccasin. Grapes are coming on. Berries are good. Deer, coyote tracks. July 14th, Sunday. Nothing on the game cam. I found a Hogzilla track, man. This track, if the devil, if Satan leaves a footprint, it looks like this one, man. This thing looks like a calf, man. You know, it's the scariest thing in the woods to me, man. Let me see. Check the game cam, July 19th. Got coons taking a banana on video. Horse and dog tracks, fresh. 4x4s met me about halfway with 3 dogs with them, and they stopped and talked to me and stuff for a second. Then I found out about this Bigfoot meeting that was going on in Fort Smith, so I actually went down and I videotaped it. If you look through my videos, you could probably find it. I look up Bigfoot Organization for Investigating Transit Sightings. It's a new group here in the Fort Smith area, and there's like ex-police officers and stuff, and it seems like a really good group, you know. I mean, but I don't really have time to go do a lot of their stuff. I'm trying to get out of this stuff myself anyway. That's why I'm documenting all this stuff now, because I'm passing it on to you guys and passing on my knowledge. Yeah, if you can watch those videos, I mean, they're pretty interesting to watch. I always love hearing people tell about their encounters and stuff, you know. Friday, July 25th, I walked alone to the game cam, moved it up to the creek, and marked it. Old bear tracks that were there before the rain, 4x4s that were there after the rain, fresh. Baby deer tracks were fresh after the rain. Coon on the camera. July 28th, Dad and I went to change the card. 6 images, nothing. Fresh horse and 4x4 tracks, coon dog tracks. Food still there. Got wet from the rain. Saturday, August 9. Got the camera. My health score, no tracks. Dogs, 4x4s, no pictures. I went and got the camera because I said my health score and stuff. You know, I got this COPD and stuff pretty bad, and man, and arthritis, or you know, degenerative joint disease, and it's hard for me to do this shit. So I went and got the camera. I'm trying to get out of this. October 15th, walked with Dad and Mika, only deer and 4x4 tracks. December 6th, Travis, Mika, walked with a friend of mine from Jacksonville, Arkansas area. That's going to help me out some. Let me see. We heard he was doing some whooping and knocking, which is something I never do, and we heard 2 whoop returns and heard a knock return, which was really awesome. Let me see. We saw smart deer tracks, coyote poop with persimmons in it. Persimmons are ripe now, and there was a rock thrown behind the party before the hill. New marker trees before the love shack, and then a couple of the guys smelled some smells and stuff that they associated with Sasquatch because they've been doing it before. I didn't smell anything myself. And we felt like we were being squatched. No snare. I don't get a rim shot. Let me see. Big limbs on the love shack are down now, so it fell. Okay. December 18th, I walked with Mika. That's 2014, December 18th, not too long ago. Saw canine small tracks, 1 9-inch looking track. I took a video of that one. Put the game camera where I filmed the bear in that spot, which is my secret spot. I cached some plaster in the woods, which is a good idea if you don't know. Plaster is heavy as shit, man. Stash that shit in the woods, man. Stash it in different locations. That way, if you find tracks, you go to your cache and you get your stuff and you cast a track, and you don't got to walk an hour to go to carry 14 or 16 pounds back with you. You know, think about it.
What are you doing instead? We walked down here the other day and there was nothing here. We came back. There was 3 rocks stacked and we put another rock on top of it. Now there's 5. And it's by this. This is like a natural spring, and this tree is kind of like pushed over it. Looks like some kind of ambush structure, man. If it was, it's twisted. Yep, it's twisted. There it is.
Here's actually one of the most interesting encounters that we've had. We were walking along and something got our attention just off over here, something moving. And we were stupid and decided we were going to follow it. There's an old game trail that runs right where that tree is knocked down. Down over it, it's a creek. Something ran through the creek, left some wet footprints and a handprint on the other side as it was climbing up. We got a fairly decent sized hand. It was about twice the size of my hand. I don't know very many people with hands that large. And then where the trail forks, we were walking up one time and saw a cedar tree. Well, at least I thought it was a cedar tree. When I looked back, it wasn't there. Cedar trees don't move on their own, so it had to be something that was the same color and the same basic form, like a ghillie suit.
What color?
Oh, it was dead cedar tree looking. So like when you see a cedar tree that's dead and it's brown,
yeah,
it was like that. Which is why all these trees that you see pushed over, bent over, curled over, twisted down, they're all cedar trees. Perfect ambush because it's perfect camouflage.
All right, Jeffrey, start from the beginning, man. Tell these folks what we found.
Well, it was July 4th. It was a hot, nasty July 4th. Bugs were everywhere. And we were going up the trail. We were on our way to look for coyote prints and see if we could find some actual coyotes. Because of the documentary you were working on, I wanted to see it. On the way there, in the mud, we saw some footprints. I was looking down for coyote prints and we saw bear tracks and everything like that. Next thing you know, we stumble across a footprint that's 16 inches long and looks exactly like this. It wasn't the only one there. There were a couple of 11s, 12. It's a whole family unit, and off the trail was an 18, which is a big fucking tripper. That was the start of it.
That was the start of it. And we went back since then, and we found some stuff that looks like what I would think would be ambush structures, because it's like limbs and trees leaned against other that weren't there naturally. And I'm a hunter. I've been hunting since I was 5. We've went back there and have seen what looked to be basically hunting blinds out of limbs and trees, even. Trees that it would take 5 or 6 strong guys to move. So, yeah, your thoughts on the Love Shack are different than the ones that I originally thought. You think that maybe since we found the 9-inch tracks, that
it's a family unit.
There's
a family already.
A family
there.
unit there.
When people
and when I returned the whoop, maybe the mother was trying to tell me something. Or?
When people go whooping like a jackass, maybe, just maybe, their social structure is set up to where males wander away from the family unit. They start their own range. They start their own family unit elsewhere. Maybe the whoop was a returned whoop was a communication in that way, and basically barricading the trail like what the Love Shack is, and building that Love Shack is really
it
not.
It does go over
shack.
the trail. The shack goes over the trail.
Yeah, it
you know,
does.
I mean,
it goes.
the structure.
Maybe it's not really a Love Shack. Maybe it's a this place is already occupied shack.
And we found out that it holds water.
Yeah,
at that one spot, and it's also
it's the only spot out there where it can pour rain and you not get soaked.
right on the left side, right there, and a little bit farther down. Well, actually, it's almost right there. Is the only spot in there that you can see
the mountain.
The mountain on the other side
Mm-hmm.
from you know, in the summertime especially. In the winter, you can see out pretty good, but in the summertime, that's the only spot you can see out of those woods and see the other mountain right up there. Let's see, and then there's other tree bends that we've noticed that are with like limbs stuck under other limbs that just doesn't seem like it could have happened naturally, and you pull it out and it snaps back up, you know.
Right. It's and a lot of what you find bent over like that and literally broken and twisted are cedar trees. You know, this goes back to the instance we saw when we were going up the hill, and I saw what I thought was a cedar tree at first glance, and I turned back to it and it was gone. It looked like a dead cedar tree. What better camouflage if you were a shaggy creature that's the color of a cedar tree?
What do you think of the one that we saw today that had 2 breaks in it? Now, I mean, that's just really strange.
That's not a natural breakage that we saw.
I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like it. On that day that we were at that we got rained on, we first walked down to the creek by this other spot, and it was raining at the time. And I remember I was scared because I didn't want to see anything, and that made the smells and the sounds diluted. So I was kind of scared that we would walk up on a bear
I
or
don't
whatever.
have a sense of smell anyways.
Right, you don't have a sense of smell.
I have no sense of smell. I caught some shrapnel from a machine gun blowing up in my face. I have no sense of smell.
Yeah, I know I've asked you a couple times in the woods, do you smell that or something? And you're like, oh, well, yeah, and then I forget. Yeah, let me see. So what have you learned in the past year and a half or so?
Well, I've learned there's a lot that I didn't know before. Something up there makes large footprints.
Yeah,
I've seen glimpses of it a couple of times.
And the poop. We seen the poop that day.
Yeah.
We know that they eat berries and they poop real big, you know. And they seem to be following the berries, I think. You know,
probably. It's a plentiful food source, especially up there. It's a large enough area with everything it needs: seclusion, food, everything to sustain a family of primates.
I think I learned from this documentary. I learned that it's basically about someone who saw something and went back and got proof. Man, I've got 2 16s, 2 13 and a halves, and 3 smaller ones. So I mean, I've got both feet of every animal except the 18.
And we saw the 16-inch track today that we could have got another cast of.
And in the past few days, I've kind of learned that maybe Bigfoot doesn't want to fuck me. They just want me to stay away from their babies, you know, and quit whooping and making noise out there around them and shit.
There was your chance with your girlfriend. That was your chance.
Another thing I wanted to mention is that, you know, I see a lot of people calling Bigfoot and all this, and the whooping seems to work. It seems to grab their attention. But nobody's ever in a blind. They're just standing out in the middle of the trail going whoop whoop and knocking on trees, and that just seems weird. I mean, it seems like if you're going to call a Bigfoot, maybe you should dress up as a Bigfoot and really or either be in a blind, one or the other.
If you really want to see a Bigfoot, my recommendation is probably find a ghillie suit.
Yeah, I don't want to see one myself.
Best case scenario, they won't see you. Worst case scenario, they'll think you've got a pretty mouth.
And a lot of times when we're out there, I've felt like stuff was trailing us, and we could hear it. We could hear it and feel it. You know,
we've heard things trailing us down that little gully,
right,
just a little bit off the trail. And where we were at today, I mean, well, even in the past, we've followed that game trail when we heard something dart across, and that's where we found the footprint going up the hill and the handprint.
Right. I put cameras all in there too, man. Never got anything.
Nothing.
Never got anything.
Nothing. But at the same time, we've also followed a massive handprint. We followed wet footprints that were much larger than my boots.
Yeah, I know. If I was gonna hoax anything, it wouldn't be this, because my fat ass is, crippled fat ass is up there going in the mountains, and I bitch the whole way, and I'm always hurting the whole way.
Well,
and if I was gonna hoax something, I would do something that's fucking easier besides this. You know what I mean?
Here's how we know it's not a hoax. How many times have we been out there? I've been out there.
Oh, well, I know it's not a hoax. I know it's not a hoax.
I've been out there a dozen times with you.
Right.
Sometimes it's spur of the moment. Like, I'll be just in the area on my motorcycle. I'll come by and we'll run up there.
Right.
How many times have we not seen something? How many times have
We've seen something every time.
Something has happened every damn time.
Right.
Whether it's something being thrown, whether it's actually seen.
Today
something.
We heard like woo.
Right, we've heard sounds.
And stuff. And
we saw the footprint today.
We saw the 16-inch footprint.
We saw something brown in the distance go through the tree. Well, I saw something brown, and you saw a shadow just a few seconds later.
Something stacked another rock on top of...
stacked another rock on top of a rock.
The ones that showed up the other day and stuff. So
something's out there.
So I went next door to talk to my neighbor for a minute. I saw him out shooting his bow, and we found an arrow the other day. I was going to go see if it belonged to him, and so I went ahead and told him about the Bigfoot stuff and the research and all the footprints and stuff I've been finding, just to let him know if he's up there hunting this season and runs across any footprints or anything, to give me a call so I can go make some castings. So I told him a few things that happened to us up there, and then I got another Bigfoot story. It's like everybody in this town, or everybody in this area, if they haven't seen something, then their cousin or their brother or their uncle, somebody, everybody around here's got a Bigfoot story. So he tells me the story and says that they had some game cams set up at the other side of Poto Mountain over here, a deer lease, and he said that his buddy went to check the game cams, and he said he went over to his buddy's house, and his buddy told him, man, you can have that game cam, you can have that deer lease, I don't want any part of it. And he thought, maybe the game warden or something caught him up there or something and said something to him, but he's like, no. He said he saw this Bigfoot leaning against a tree, and he said he was walking straight towards him, and he said the Bigfoot took about 5 steps and was gone about 100 yards and just went up the side of this mountain real quick. And I just figured I would share that because, like I said, man, everybody around here has got a Bigfoot story. I just went next door to talk to my neighbor over there, and just out of nowhere, here's another Bigfoot story. And that's why I keep mentioning it to people, because I keep mentioning it to people around here, and they keep telling me more stories and telling me more stories, and just keep hearing them and hearing them, man. So add another one to the list, man. Have a nice day. I went to the foot doctor one day to get my foot measured and stuff for like special shoes and stuff, and while I was getting my foot measured, I had to mention to the nurse about Bigfoot, because I try to mention it to people because you can hear stories, and she said, oh, well, that's interesting, because 2 weeks ago, my friend Facebooked me and said that she saw one walking down a power line, and this is somewhere here local, too. So there's another one. There's also another encounter that was told to me by a couple of different people, and they said that the people that told them they trusted. And supposedly there was a group of people hanging out, partying at the pits somewhere around here in the Fort Smith area, and they were all sitting there, and some creature ran through them to get away, because obviously they had him like trapped or in a certain area, and he had to run out by where all they were and where they all were and get away, and they all seen it, and then they went. They hauled ass, and then they came back with guns and shit, but they never found anything. And that's like a story that a lot of people have told around here for years. I don't know exactly when it happened or anything. So besides the experiences I've had and the experience that Shane had and the experience that my neighbor's friend had, and I have another friend that I knew before any of this ever happened. I was friends with her, and whenever she found out about us finding the tracks, she come out and told me her story. So I've talked her into telling her story too, so I've included it.
Okay, what exactly were you doing prior to your encounter?
Coming back from the fair.
Okay.
Around midnight.
Okay.
In September.
In September? What do you remember about what year?
No. not right at this moment, but I do have the article.
Okay, I've got that, so I probably know the year.
Yeah, you
I
do.
could probably tell the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell me exactly what happened.
And then we were coming back from the fair. It was late. You know, it was around midnight. Coming down 71. It was pretty cold. Not too cold. You know, it was fair time, but it was chilly. And we're coming down 71.
Mom, I need that chair.
Okay. And I looked over to the right in the ditch,
I need a chair.
and I'm like, what was that? We went right by. I go, what was that? And we turned around, and we came back. And we dove down, and turned around, and went back, and didn't see anything. But what I saw was something that looked like a human, but had long hair. And I could only see this through the headlights because it was dark.
Like 4 inches long or so.
So yep. So what I could see was the long dark hair, but it was thin enough that I could see the shape of the muscle, and the muscle of the leg looked just like the muscle
Through the hair?
Through the hair of a strong man, but the leg was very tall. Because what I saw was, whatever it was bent over from the waist down, like bent over into the ditch, like hiding.
It was running?
No, it was standing right in that ditch, but it was right on the edge of the ditch, kind of, and between the road and the ditch, almost in the ditch. You didn't see the feet. That's the feet were in the ditch, and it was bent over, so you couldn't see the waist, you know, up. Like, I don't know, like an ostrich hiding in the sand or something, you know?
If you were to estimate a size, how would
The
you
legs
say?
themselves were, I mean, those legs were, five, 6 feet, just legs.
Wow.
I mean, really? Seriously?
Did you see any arms or anything?
No. I just saw the absolute perfect shape of the muscle, like a man's leg, and the long, dark hairs. And we turned around and we went back and looked, and the next day we went and we parked and got out, and it was right by the fence, an old barbed wire fence. That was a nice fence, stretched tight. But in this one area where I saw it, the wires of the fence were stretched wide like this, and they were left open like that. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking, if it was an animal, I wouldn't think would stretch open something. I would think it would squeeze through or crawl over or something. But it was stretched wide.
With big legs like that.
And hanging off of the wire were long black hairs, like silk. They felt silky. And I was too dumb then to know that, you know, you don't touch anything like that. You get something, you know, not your fingers.
Right.
Take it off and you put it in a paper envelope, you know, if you want to send it in. But I took it around.
Yeah, nobody knows.
I took it around to farmers. I took it around to farmers and said, "What is this?" They looked. It's not a cow. It's not a horse. They didn't know what it was. And these are farmers, old men, been around a long time, ought to know.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't know what it was. And then I read in the paper that the Queen said that there was a Bigfoot sighting, and to be on the lookout, that it was headed towards our way, Mansfield. I mean, I read it.
They said that?
The same time, yeah.
That it was like headed
if we
this
were to go
way?
back in the archives, we could probably find that.
That's strange.
And then it was like just a day or two after that down on 378, cars were pulled over, and this was from the chief of police at the time, Dale.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's passed away. I was thinking, I heard that. But he himself said that he had gone down there for a call. Cars were parked on the side of the road because something ran across the road and they didn't know what it was. He even said, "Oh, it's probably just a cow," but I'm thinking that these old farmers and people down south and Mansfield, they know what a cow looks like.
A 3-year-old knows what a bear looks like.
And if it was running around on 2 legs, I bet that was really something. Because whatever it was upright on 2 feet. So you know, it wasn't just my.
And that was all within like a week or two.
It was all in a week, yeah, like the same week.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, it is cool. I seen it with my own eyes, and there's no, you know, if somebody say, "Oh, you're crazy," I don't care what they say. I've seen it.
Like I always tell them that we're not believers, we're knowers.
I know her. I'm a knower. I'm a
All
knower.
right. Anything else you remember about it, or you want to say about it?
No, but I've always to this day wanted to go on through that fence and take that path through there. It's along a creek. And to just keep going and see.
Oh yeah, along a creek. Yeah, that seems to be pretty popular.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So now we had everything but a body, our DNA. I don't know if I'll ever get the 18-inch footprint I'm looking for. I don't know if I keep going back up there, but I know while I'm looking for DNA, Bigfoot's looking for TNA, so kind of changes the whole game. So when you're out there in the woods, be aware, because you may too one day become a knower. So peace out, and thanks to all my friends that were in this and part of this. And thank you for watching.